Hello beautiful beings, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be walking you through how you can understand the degrees of astrology and really take your understanding of your chart deeper with the degrees and really adding in the numbers of your chart and what they mean. I do have a corresponding blog post with this as well, so if you're a reader or want to have this information somewhere where you can refer back to it, it's in the blog post that I will post in the description box below over on my website. So the degrees in astrology, again, these are the numbers in your chart. So you will see, if you look at your chart, for example, Venus is at 3 degrees Gemini. And that's what I'm referring to when I'm talking about the degrees in your chart. And these degrees give you a better insight into what the expression of that placement is. So for example, 3 degrees Gemini, 3 represents the sign of Gemini. So this would just make it extra Gemini in the way that this placement shows up in your chart and in your life and in your expression of this part of you. So there are 3 different stages of the degrees. There's the first stage, which is the degrees of 1 through 12, and this is the first evolution of the degrees. To back up a little bit, the degrees start at 0 and go all the way to 29. So each sign has 30 degrees of orb from 0 to 29. And at 0 degrees, this is when the sign is in its truest expression of that sign. Whatever sign that it's in, it's kind of like a baby, and it's like the truest expression of that sign. So 0 degrees Gemini, for example, would be the truest form of Gemini. Just kind of like as similar as having it 3 degrees Gemini. 0 also brings in 0 degrees, also brings in the sign before it. So it is like at 0 degrees Gemini, for example, Gemini is taking what it is learned, the highest wisdom from the sign before it, which is Taurus, and really applying that to Gemini. So for example, 0 degrees Gemini would be like the highest evolution of Taurus. So teaching, being like the guru, being like the Hierophant in the tarot deck. These things are all interconnected. Is like being the teacher, being the guru, being that wise guide for people. And Gemini brings that energy of the highest form of Taurus at 0 degrees Gemini. Gemini adds a little aspect of that, of giving back. Taurus is a sign that very much likes to be in itself, likes to be in its own energy, likes to be grounded, and likes to have like its space and alone time. Gemini is kind of the opposite. Gemini likes to be around people. It likes to share what it's learned with people and with community. They like to go out and they like to socialize. They like to share what they've learned, again, with the people around them. So 0 degrees Gemini is really taking that evolution of the highest form of Taurus and bringing in the Gemini aspect, which is sharing that with people. Whereas Taurus maybe would write a book about it, and just kind of keep that knowledge to themselves and kind of be like a silent monk. Gemini wants to share it with the world. So they want their book to be famous. They want to share what they have learned with the world around them. And so that's kind of an example of the energy of 0 degrees Gemini, and kind of more into what 0 degrees can say about the sign that it's in. This is also a cusp. 0 degrees is kind of like the truest form of a cusp. So it's really integrating those 2 energies of the sign before it and the sign itself. So in the case of 0 degrees Gemini, it would be a blending of Taurus and Gemini energies, which I just described. For the evolution of the degrees, we start at 1 and we go to 12. So 1 represents Aries, 2 represents Taurus, 3 represents Gemini, and so on and so forth through the zodiac until we get to 12, which is Pisces, the end of the zodiac. And this is the first stage of evolution within the degrees. So this is like the first stage of these signs. It is like the less evolved version of these signs. So these signs are very much here. These degrees are very much here to learn through picking up through other people. They're very much here to be conditioned, to learn from other people, to learn from their experiences, to really absorb all that is around them. You can also relate this to the human stages of life. From ages 1 to 12, we are absorbing information. We are creating our subconscious. We are being conditioned from the outside around us, and that is very also indicative of the signs at the degrees from 1 to 12. The next stage of evolution within the degrees is 13 to 24. So this is the second chapter, or second evolution of the degrees. This is the kind of you can also relate this to the human stages of life. From ages 13 to 24, we're forming our individuality, or really learning what we want to look like, how we want to express ourselves, and also how we want to fit in with everyone else. So we're really learning to integrate ourselves into the larger community, and that is very indicative of these degrees and placements and these degrees as well. In the third evolution of the signs, we have 25 to 29 degrees. And this ends at Leo because the signs from Aries to Leo are the less evolved signs. When we get to Virgo, we really start to be more evolved. Again, the zodiac, if you haven't heard this before, I talk about this a lot. Every single zodiac sign is an evolution of the sign before it. So Aries is the baby, it's the first one, it's the initiator, it's the go-getter, it's very childlike, it's the baby of the zodiac. And Taurus really integrates those traits of Aries and brings another spin to them, a Taurian spin to them, and every sign there and after also follows suit with that. So Pisces is really kind of like all of the signs integrated into the wise, mutable water energy of Pisces. So the last third evolution phase of the degrees, and if this is confusing or you're getting lost, check out my blog post because it puts it really in concise form so you can really understand it. And the third phase and evolution of the degrees is degrees 25 to 29. And again, each degree represents a sign in the zodiac. So you can really simplify it that way and really apply this to your chart in the ways of like, oh, okay, this placement is at 8 degrees Taurus. So yes, I'm very much a Taurus in this way, but it's also meant to be expressed through Scorpio. So really blending those two energies. And this can be a little bit confusing, again, if you don't have something tangible to grab onto. So check out my blog post if you really want to apply this to your chart and really learn how to integrate this knowledge and what it means and says about you specifically. But the third evolution of the signs is like the highest evolution of the signs. It's like very much taking what they've learned through their learned experience and applying that knowledge. Knowledge is useless unless we apply it. So the third evolution of the degrees and of the signs are really much here to give back, to be of service, to share what they have learned through their experiences and the wisdom they have gained through their life experiences, to really give back and really share that knowledge with the world around them. And this can show up in a lot of ways, and it depends on what placements you're applying this knowledge to for yourself. But that really takes it a step deeper and really gives you a lot more insight into the overall expression of each placement within your chart and how it shows up for you. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it made sense and gave you a more well-rounded picture of your birth chart and how to really integrate this knowledge into your own life and what that says about you and how you're meant to show up in the world. And without further ado, I will see you next time. And help you understand your chart a little bit better. So let me know how this resonated with you and how you're able to apply this knowledge to your own chart. I would love to hear from you. Please share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Share and like this video if you would like to see more content from me. I appreciate you so much. And until next time, so much love.